Good morning, nation. Keith Bilous, C. Marty Fit, joining you. Mornings in the lab, coming to you from Winnipeg, Canada. We got Marty in the lab today. What's going on, Marty?
Nothing, man. What's going on with this weather?
Yeah.
I didn't come out here for this, man.
You brought a little bit of rain with you this morning. Good morning, Sarvina. Thanks for joining us here this morning in the lab. I think we got a little bit of echo here. I'm going to get this echo off my. There we go. Get that off there. And I'm going to try this. So, Nation, I'm going to ask you for your patience as we get used to figuring this situation. I got a second guy in the lab here today, so we rarely have this opportunity.
First time for everything.
There is a first time for everything. Absolutely. So today we are going to get into a conversation about breaking up with your accountability partner, what that is like when it's time to say goodbye. And Marty, I don't know about you, my friend, but I've had a opportunity to say goodbye to an accountability partner before. And I know in your training industry, I sometimes wonder what it's like to say goodbye. And no, we're not talking about our husband or our wife. Somebody on LinkedIn yesterday said, "Oh, I'm curious about this conversation, but I'd be wondering what it'd be like to say goodbye to my wife." And I was like, "Oh, that's not the direction we're heading here today." So,
not what we're talking about, buddy.
Not what we're talking about here today. No, not at all. Not at all. So we're going to talk about breaking up with your accountability partner, and then we are going to get into a conversation around what you got to say no to in the gym. Many of you are more than likely making many mistakes in the gym, and we're here to talk about it today. So keeping you accountable in the gym, but 15 muscle building mistakes you could be making is the conversation coming up a little bit later in the lab today as well. Plus, we're going to get into polls. We're going to get into a bunch of things we talked about last week. What's coming up this week in the lab? We got David Sauer joining us here on Wednesday to talk entrepreneurship and so forth. So that is what we got set up here in the lab. But C. Marty Fit, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. Had a long day of travel yesterday, but got here safely, so that's all that matters. So I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed. Woke up this morning, got my coffee. I'm good. I can't complain.
You had a long day of travel yesterday.
I did, yeah. I got some sleep, too, in the airport.
And
they changed my flight from – I was supposed to land in Toronto, then fly to Winnipeg. They changed my flight. I flew to Montreal.
Yeah.
Missed my connecting flight because they were boarding when I landed. So
yeah.
I was late coming out of D.C. It was a lot.
There you go. Yeah, it was great to see him. Myself, Carter picked up Marty yesterday in the airport. Good times there. Where is my mouse? There we go. And we have this morning joining us in the lab, we got Enzo joining us from the future.
What's up, Enzo?
Marty brought his soundboard as well. We'll get that up there on the screen. We're back home, holidays, and now we're recoup week with Enzo.
You're going to hear something funny real quick. So Enzo got on my podcast the other day, and I have like the same viewers every episode. And Enzo's just typing away. They're like, "Who is this guy?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Enzo. He's cool. He's good."
He's a fast typer, man. The guy's a fast typer.
Oh yeah.
Lotus Lar, thanks for joining us this morning. Yes, the dynamic duo was live, and it's great to see you in the lab this morning.
What's up, Lotus?
I was wondering if she was going to join us this morning, Marty.
Yeah, she's a fan of the show. She told me she really enjoys the show, so we'll see Lotus a lot more. Yep.
And you know what I like about Lotus is she's drinking the same cup of accountability coffee that you and I drink.
She's on the same train as us.
She's 100% on the train. She's like, she's showing up at the door. She's like, "Oh, the gym's not open yet, Marty." I'm like, "Oh, you're here before us."
No, that's definitely Lotus. Yeah, she's good people.
That's awesome. So Lotus, I'm really glad to have you here. Bring your friends. Tell your friends about the show. But hey, Marty, I thought that we would. I wanted to address something, in our morning, opener here as we're getting into the show here today. So, Nation, we are not a political show. We are here to bring accountability, positive conversation. But what we do want to address is what happened on the weekend in the United States, and I'm just going to address it for a quick couple of seconds, and I want to leave you with this. Nation, you know what we stand for here in the lab. We stand for kindness. We stand for bringing everybody together. So regardless of what side of the fence you want to stand on, we're hoping that we all can just ultimately come together as human beings, right? So Standing on the left, standing on the right. Let's move to the center and wrap our arms around each other. And yeah, I'm drinking a cup of naivety this morning, Marty. But at the very least, maybe we can use moments like this to bring humanity together, right? And where it goes, I don't know. But again, our ambition here on the show is to be positive, bring a dose of accountability, bring a dose of positivity, and I'm hopeful that we can find positivity out of the weekend, Marty.
I'm sure we will.
As we both drink our cup of coffee and leave the political hot donut over to the side over there. Like, nah, we won't touch that one, but we'll leave that aside. But I will tell you, Marty, so we will just jump into this for a quick second, because I do like to talk marketing and business and we are a business discussion show. Like from a marketing perspective, man, that iconic image that came out of this weekend, that's history right there.
It is.
Like the arm up in the sky, the blood trickling down the face, like that image, when growing up, I know we have a little generational shift here, but growing up and seeing some of those historical images we grew up with, like that image is going to be, etched in the stone of, my grandchildren, your children, generations from ever are going to be stuck with that image in their head. Absolutely.
I mean, think about it. When did you ever think you see a president with his fist in the air with blood dripping down his ear? You never thought you'd see something like that. So
that's what it's
definitely going to be history, man. That was crazy. I just pray that maybe it unites the country. I don't think it will, but I hope it does.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong here.
Yeah, well, I think many of us are hoping that you're wrong, but we'll see. But what could there not be a more American image? Hey, like of the president flexing his muscles, blood coming down his face. Like that is an American iconic image.
What they're going to say is that image is not American. That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. They're going to say it's not American. So
yeah, that's exactly it. So okay, so I know it's causing the freeze up here on my camera. So I'm actually going to kill this here. I just saw it happen. So I'm going to kill this here, and hopefully it doesn't kill anything there, and that goes there, and that goes there. Good, excellent. We're going to freeze it there for a second, but that is okay. So let's see what we got us here. We also got some Enzo coming up on the screen. Keith, you got to let me know on Insta or LinkedIn how I can help this week. Yes, I will absolutely give you a heads up there, Enzo. I appreciate you putting your hand up to see what we can get done here in the lab. You say this every show, somebody. Well, hey, it's okay to talk real life. We like to talk real life here in the lab. That's what we do here in the lab. It's the accountability show.
Nothing wrong with talking real life, man.
Nothing wrong with talking real life here in the lab here. So coming up here in the show, we are going to get into breaking up with your accountability partner, what that looks like. 15 muscle building mistakes you could be making is what we're also going to tune into. We just talked a little. We're going to introduce a segment here over time called Views from the Lab. Keith and Marty are going to kick off the show with what's happening around the world. Just a couple things to chew on. But Marty, I want to get into last week's polls. We did a bunch of them. I'm just going to find them here in my notes. And we had a bunch of polls last week, and they asked a number of questions. So let's do a little quick recap of them. So Monday, do you use AI tools and apps to enhance your fitness? And out of those polls, we had four responses. Yes, sometimes, rarely, and never. And Marty, out of our responses, we had 50% of people use AI tools all the time. 25% always, 25% never. Fascinating to me that only half of us are using all these tools all the time. And Marty, I got to tell you, man, there's people that are complaining and asking that they have no time to train.
Oh, man.
Dude.
Well, in their defense, I guess AI is still kind of new. So they aren't aware of the those tools, which you don't even need AI tools to still get your workout in. You can do some body weight stuff. You can do some stuff with the kids,
Yes.
You got the playground in your backyard. It made me think about like go outside and run with the kids, just to get active a little bit, while the kids are playing, but go burn some calories.
That's a lost playtime, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I mean, if you want to get it done, you'll get it done. So you can get as creative with it as you want to, honestly.
Get it done if you want to get it done. And Business Athlete Nation, as we strive to build business athletes, the ambition here is to help you find that time. So if you can't find time, dude, you got to walk into the lab. We'll give you some tools to help you move forward and find that time in your life. On Tuesday, we ran a poll, Marty, on Tuesday, which was, what's the number one thing a leader can do to earn your trust? And the answers we gave to our audience was be genuine and vulnerable, communicate clearly, be transparent, and keep promises. And I know that you leaned into the third one, which was be transparent. I know that's an important one to you.
Yeah, that's big for me.
The number one result that came back from that poll was be genuine. That wasn't
number one?
No, number one. 67% of our audience came back and said that being genuine and vulnerable was most important to them out of their leader. So if you're listening right now, what do you look for in your leader? What's the one thing that you look for in your leader? Is it being vulnerable and genuine? Is it communicating clearly? Is it being transparent? Is it keeping promises? What are those things that help you stay close to your leader, and what do you expect from your leader when it comes to leadership? Marty, on Wednesday, we dug into what's your go-to strategy to protect your eyes from screen time. Dr. Labby.
The GOAT.
Dude, he's
good. Look, Maurice is the OGG. Dr. Labby's the OGGG.
He's the O triple G, man. Dr. Labby.
Yeah, he is.
Dr. Labby from New York City, solid guy. He's a sports vision expert who works with athletes around the world. And he sat in the lab with myself and Marty. We talked about vision and so forth. And then Marty, I saw this video on the weekend you shared with me. And this young man was talking in the video about how he's like, oh yeah?
Yeah, I knew you would like that video.
Oh yeah, for screen time? Oh dude, yeah. He's just mashing it up. He's like, screen time? He's like, what are you doing with your screen time? I'm making money with my screen time. He's proudly showing off his 8 hours of screen time. He's like, oh, are you watching YouTube or are you making money on basically summarizing what he's saying? I'm like, I get that, man. Like, dude's all about looking at a screen and making cash.
Yep. It's if you're in the content space, you kind of got to be in tune with what's going on in the social media world. And one of my close friends, he's doing his podcast. He wants to grow. And I'm like, did you see such and such on Instagram? He's like, I ain't been on Instagram all week. I'm taking a break. I'm like, bro, you got to know what's going on, man. So
I loved it. So his post really gave me the confidence that you and Carter have really been trying to push into me, which was like, just stand out, man. Like, push yourself out there and be proud of what you're doing instead of being shy of what you're doing.
Yeah, and then I noticed too, like whatever your niche is on your content space, if something happens related to it, you got to respond right away. So like if something, I'm fitness, so if there's something crazy that I can react to that happened on Tuesday, it needs to. I'm posting it Tuesday. I'm posting my reaction Tuesday. So you got to know what's going on.
Well, because that news cycle happens so fast now. Like it's just, if you're gone and if you miss it, 24 hours later goes by, there's something else already happening.
Because now, if your competition, if you respond 24 hours after them, you're not going to get that engagement, or they're not going to rely on you.
Well, and it's interesting you say that. I go back to LinkedIn and Threads and the social platforms we all play on, Marty. It drives me nuts, Marty, the amount of people that post and ghost.
Yeah.
Make a post and then leave it. And it's like, so you've put all this effort into making content, then you post it and you walk away from it. It's like going to a cocktail party and walking up to you at the party and saying, hey, Marty, had a great lift, and then you turn around and walk away.
Yo, I've seen people who probably can, and I mean, I'm still like a small content creator, but I've seen people who can probably surpass me. And I'm like, yo, you need to keep posting.
Yes.
Like there was this girl, she actually talks about accountability. Yeah. And her posts, like, they hit. And I'm like, please, just keep doing it. Yeah. She hasn't posted in like months. And I'm like, well, I tried to help. Yeah, exactly. So Labby came into the lab. We talked about how it's affecting your vision. Good morning, nation. As you're tuning in, I see those numbers crawling up. You're with Keith. We're talking accountability. If you're enjoying this, if you're looking for a positive show to talk about, good content and positive conversation, you are in the right show. We are your morning alarm clock, and we're going to get into some more specifics about our show coming up in a few moments. We're here reviewing our polls from last week. So, what's your go-to strategy to protect your eyes from screen time? Regular eye breaks, Marty. Using blue light filters. Dude,
I got to get Labby back to talk about blue light filters. I've been thinking
Yeah.
about blue light filters.
That was the first time I even heard about that.
So, you know how I went to sleep last night?
How'd you go to sleep last night?
Staring at my screen.
Yeah, me too.
So, don't tell me the blue light keeps me awake. Labby, where's my camera? Labby, you got to come back to the lab.
Oh, he's going to get you. You know he's going to get you. You know he's going to get you.
You got to come back because you can't tell me that blue light keeps me awake. I woke up with my phone next to my body. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I must have dropped it as I was falling asleep. So don't tell me, Labby, where's my camera? Don't tell me, Labby, that there's no blue light is not affecting my eyes.
Yeah, he's going to get you, man. Hold up though. What about the laptop light? Is that blue light?
Yeah, any LED light, blue light. We got.
Yeah, I go to sleep with the laptop light. So Dr. Labby, you got two people on your head right now. Bring them back on the show.
I think Labby is full of.
Oh, I didn't say that. Dr. Labby, I didn't say that.
Oh, Dr. Labby, we love you, man. It's funny because he's not even here. He's not even in the green room boiling in the water, and I'm throwing him under the bus. I'm sorry that we can't send you, Labby, but
can't wait till he sees it.
Listen, the greatest sports ophthalmologist in the world, Dr. Daniel Labby. So if you've just tuned in now, I've been throwing him under the bus. He was here last week to talk about your go-to strategy to protect your eyes from screen time. Hey, Marty, listen, man. You come into the lab, you hang out with us. There's some odds that we're gonna keep bringing your name up from time to time and have some fun with it because that's how we show up.
Yeah,
that's how we show
Where's
up.
William Ray? No, I'm playing.
Actually, where is William Ray this morning? Let's see here. Let's see on the other stream here. So what do we got? Oh yeah, I see that, Jimmy. Thank you, pal. Here is we got a comment from one of our community members, Mike Quinlan. I put on Goodfellas at night and go straight to Alpha Wave stage. Yes, best. Dr. Labby, we continue to debunk your truth, man. You got to come back to talk to us about blue light. We need to learn about how blue light is affecting or not affecting us when we go to sleep.
Agree.
So we went to what's your go-to strategy to protect your eyes from screen time, regular eye breaks, using blue light. So using blue light filters was 67%. Nothing was 33%. In other words, Nation is still kind of like, I don't believe in it. So, all right, Thursday, our poll was, what is the one thing everyone needs to do to achieve success? And our four options were have goals. Go figure. Number two was...
Hey, some people don't have any goals, so I'm not surprised.
Do they just exist?
Yes. They're just here. They're just breathing. No intent.
Could you imagine that? Like, could you imagine that life? Hey, Quinlan, I know you're listening right now. I know you're a go-getter. And Enzo, question for you. Sarvina, a question for you too. Could you imagine just waking up and existing? Just breathing to go to sleep. I'm sorry, just breathing, going through your day to get to the next day.
It's probably like...
Marty's got nothing to say.
Like 75% of North America.
There's a lot of people just standing around. Mm-hmm. It's true.
Same routine, no goals, nothing.
Yeah, and listen, we're about kindness and no judgment and grace in the lab here. That's really what we stand for. But I would offer anybody just pulley, move your foot forward in front of the other. Magical.
Well, those people aren't watching the show, so we're not offending anyone.
There you go. Well said. You're right. They are watching the show.
They're not going to see this, so nobody's going to be offended.
Quinlan comes in with all that blue light exposure is removing the MC from my last name. Yes, it's that's exactly. You're just now Mike Quinlan, not Mick Quinlan. It's exactly it. And Nation, hey, I cracked the joke before Marty got in the lab this morning that if you're looking for, I'm going to turn myself here. If you are looking for Morning Joe on CNN this morning, it's not there. No, they're debating about what happened on the weekend. So we welcome you here into the lab for the positive conversation. So come back every morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time. You'll always find accountable, positive conversation to help you move your day forward. We're like your morning alarm clock. As a matter of fact, Marty, I'm thinking about maybe changing the opener to a real bad alarm clock sound.
I don't think so.
I guess we're not.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
So on Thursday... On Thursday, we said, what's the one thing everyone needs to do to achieve success? Have goals, show up no matter what, self-confidence, accountability. Number one, Marty, on the list of responses was show up no matter what. 50% of our responses was the show up attitude. Comments on that?
That's step one. Show up. Can't get anything done if you don't show up. Show up when you don't feel like it. Show up when you do feel like it. When you're feeling motivated, you got to show up. Nothing gets done. Nothing happens if you don't show up. So
yes, yeah, it really is that first step here. Mike jumps in with we talked about this when I was on the show a few weeks back. Tune into Morning Joe and your day's ruined. Start your day with positivity. It's funny, Mike. I was reading your comment live as I was putting it on the air. So sorry, Morning Joe, for throwing into the bus, but you can start mornings with Keith and C. Marty Fit, where it's positive and it's energetic. It's all about accountability. I'll tell you right now, Nation, there is not a morning discussion anywhere in the world right now happening like Keith and C. Marty talking about accountability and positivity with a pure purpose and intention to help you move forward through your day today. But just giving you things to think about. Like literally giving you things to think about. You know how we grew up with the music world, the different formats of music, where there's rock music, Marty, rap music, country music. Well, our format is accountability. And we believe that if people can drink the same cup of coffee we drink every single day, which is being positive, moving forward in life, is something we can maybe help others achieve as well. Speaking of coffee, how's your Tim Hortons?
I love Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
Yo, when I discovered Tim Hortons in Dubai, I went there like 10 times in my trip, and I was only there for 3 days.
So
don't tell anybody.
Yeah. So to anybody who doesn't know, Tim Hortons is very much a Canadian franchise, and Marty had to go. So Marty's American, of course. Marty had to go all the way to Dubai to go get his Tim Hortons coffee, and then Marty gets off the plane in Montreal yesterday, and the first thing he sees was
Tim Hortons. I was like, "What is this?" So. I have never seen one in the United States, and I've been all over the United States.
Oh, and then the OGG picks him up this morning to bring him to the lab, and the first place they go to was
Tim Hortons.
Exactly.
And then, I said, OG, do we need to go inside? Because the line was long. He's like, no, they move fast. Trust me. And they were quick. They were real quick. I was like, oh, okay. I learned something today. Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, you need to step it up. Yeah. Because I'd never got out of Starbucks with Dunkin' Donuts that quick ever.
So Marty, did you learn how to have did you have a black coffee or an OGG coffee this morning? Because OGG coffee is not black coffee. It's actually,
I heard.
It's actually not really coffee. It's more like dessert with coffee in it.
Double G coffee is double everything coffee.
I heard. There's the coffee in the drink. So to those on Nation listening, OGG is our business partner here in the lab here, and he likes his coffee a little different than some of us do. So you may hear us refer to our coffee experience. And this is the thing with morning shows, is that you get to know the cast of characters behind the scenes. You know, we got producer Jimmy, we got Enzo. Yes, sorry, Enzo, I'm missing some of your comments here on the side here. I'm going to come back to them here. But you get to know the cast of characters behind the scenes. You know, we got producer Jimmy, Marty, what does producer Jimmy do again?
Everything.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Jimmy does everything.
Jimmy's listening right now going, what? What?
Yeah, Jimmy does it all.
I'm just watching for the private comments to come from Jimmy here. But let's see. What else we got from Enzo here? We got some. Oh, yes. No, please don't. Is that off and on go to sleep? Yes, this is a hockey machine behind Marty. So if we have some time, we might have to challenge Marty to some table hockey. Enzo, maybe we'll create some content around that table hockey with Marty this weekend as well. So that was our Thursday. So back to the poll, man. I'm all over the place here right now. What's the one thing everyone needs to go to do to achieve success? Show up was number one. Number two was self-confidence, Marty. I never thought about self-confidence because it's just, I don't know, I'm self-confident. I know that seems normal.
A lot of people aren't confident.
No, you're right. That's what I'm saying. I'm speaking of it somewhat naively because you're right. A lot of people aren't confident. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but me being a trainer and having heart-to-hearts with people, it's a lot of people you would think are confident and they're not at all.
Is that the number one reveal that comes out when you start sitting down with your clients and talking to them and getting to know them and recognizing that. So, conversation one, they're not talking anything about their lack of confidence. Conversation two, they're itching there. And then, and because this is great because it relates to our accountability discussion coming up around how do you break your accountability partner. But in your early stages of getting to know somebody, they come in projecting this confidence.
Yep.
But they're not.
It comes out eventually.
Yes,
it always comes out eventually. So
yeah, interesting. So self-confidence was number two. Number three and four was have goals and accountability. And I found it interesting, which was what is the one thing everyone needs to achieve success? Only 10% thought accountability was important.
What? That's crazy. That's why nobody's accountable nowadays. Sorry.
No, it's hard to argue with that because maybe we're just too quick to make excuses.
Well, just think about it. Anytime you ask someone like, "Hey, why did this go wrong?" They always blame someone else. They're never blaming themselves or taking any type of accountability. So it makes sense.
Well, and again, we're not here to get political. When leaders though around the world and business leaders I'm just looking around anonymously. As business leaders and world leaders can do things and not be held accountable for them, maybe it just loosens the layers for everybody else. I don't know.
That's another convo. I'm not going to go there.
And then on Friday, Marty, we had the GOAT, Christopher Louderman, in the lab.
Yes,
the musicologist of the stars.
Brilliant guy.
Brilliant guy. Yes. Yeah. When I learned that he was a musicologist, because I don't have many chances in life to sit down with somebody who's studied music for a living. Like, that's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
You study music. And I know we grow up with thinking about people like Mozart and Beethoven, like those musical classical geniuses, right? But now we talk about people like Kendrick Lamar or Marshall Mathers or artists like a modern day artists with their ingenuity, right? So bringing a guy like Louderman in the lab is fascinating to me. But we talked, Marty, on Friday about using music for motivation, and the question with the nation was, "What's your go-to music for a great morning?" We threw out Dance Party. We threw out meditative or nature sounds. We threw out your favorite song. And then we also threw out silence. What do you think was number one, Marty?
Probably Dance Party.
It was. Yeah, number one was dance. Number two was, and then meditative, nature, and favorite song was tied at 25%.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Music is fun.
Yes.
So a lot of people like to, play music when they're doing fun activities.
My go-to is definitely is more hip hop. I would say my go-to is hip hop. Hip hop, trap. I go through phases, but I certainly am. I've been stuck in hip hop phase for, I don't know, it feels like maybe 10 years, 12 years. So I'm like very much hip hop phase.
Yeah, we got Drake in Canada, man.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's absolutely. Speaking of Drake in Canada, I know we don't talk much pop culture, but we're going to talk a little bit right now about pop culture. Man, Kendrick's song is living forever. And I had to laugh, man. So the United States basketball team beats Team Canada. Did you see what they played on the court?
Oh, did they play that? Oh, I didn't see that.
Non-stop.
Wow. That's hilarious.
Isn't it though? Like, is it like, is that the ultimate diss?
I mean, I guess so. I'm not like, I'm a big Drake fan, so
I know you are.
I'm not really feeling this, so, but that's actually hilarious.
I'm trying to get Marty into it. It's funny because I'm the Canadian guy and Marty's the American guy, and I'm and listen, I like Drake. I will not dismiss my affection for Drake. I went and saw the guy at a show in Vancouver last summer. But I really do, I also admire Kendrick. I think, and Marty, they're different, man. Kendrick and Drake are two different artists.
Yeah.
Like, let's be frank. I would suggest to you that if we're to take rap pop, we're going to put Drake over there. If we're going to take rap / hip hop, like rap rooted in hip hop and good rhyming, I'm taking Kendrick any single day.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, you bring them both to the center, right? And they both create great music. They both create great artists.
Yeah, I just like to appreciate everybody. I don't like to put one over the other.
I know you do, and I appreciate that. And I'm very similar the same way. I think there's room on the planet for a lot of great artists, right? A lot of great culture, a lot of great artists, and a lot of great food. Like Sarvina made us yesterday.
That was good.
Sarvina and Lauren cooked up a great storm for us. Thanks, baby, and thanks, Sarvina. Awesome to have that dal, not dal, an awesome dal chicken. It was
Yeah,
great.
I want her to make some curry chicken. I know she's a vegetarian, but if she could make some curry chicken or something,
Oh, there's so
I'd appreciate it.
Sarvina. You've
You
officially
heard that.
called out for some of my curry chicken here. So
that would be amazing.
Oh, Enzo comes in with people too lazy, can't take accountability for themselves, even in a poll. Yeah. This is hard to argue with that, Enzo. Hard to argue with that as
Not
well.
surprised.
Yeah, Enzo comes back with Argentina beat Canada in the Copa America semifinals after Drake bet 300 grand on Canada to win. Argentina posted a pic after their win, captioned "Not like us" with the song attached. Dude,
That's hilarious.
everybody is throwing Canada under the bus with the old Drake song along the way, which was pretty fun. But it looks like it is this time of the show to do this, Jimmy, and it is where I'm going to take a moment to do.
Hey,
That's it. All right. If you're tuning in right now and you're one of those many viewers tuning at the same time, it's this point in the show where I pull Marty off the screen. Yeah. See you, Marty. Just me. It's the accountability check-in. It's this time in the show, the only morning show in the world that helps you be accountable. It helps you move forward. It helps you achieve your mother goals. I didn't say it. Hey, so do you ever look in the mirror? Not just to check your appearance. You know, look at the gray hair in your face, but to question yourself. Are you living your values? Are you pushing those limits you have? Are you better than yesterday? Are you looking forward to tomorrow? Because you know what, nation? Self-reflection, that look in the mirror, it's important. It reveals the true self. It uncovers our hidden strengths because we know we have hidden strengths inside of us. What it also does is it highlights those areas for improvement. Growth, growth begins with honesty with ourselves, because if we can't question ourselves, we can't grow. So I'm going to invite you, as I freeze up on the screen, I'm going to invite you to ask yourself tough questions today. Ask yourself whether you're looking in the mirror at your own self or whether you're looking at somebody else, because it's not always fun learning things about ourselves we don't want to learn about. It's not always fun learning about yourself, but the growth that you'll experience, nation, that growth, that is going to be priceless. So, as you start your day on the morning show with Keith, C. Marty Fit, and everybody around the world, I'm inviting you right now to take a look in the mirror and ask yourself the question: what are you doing to move yourself forward? Are you living your values? Are you pushing your limits? And are you better than yesterday? That's the question you want to ask. Today's accountability check-in. Coming up a little bit later in the show, the C. Marty Fit Tip. Something to get you moving. All right. There's our accountability check-in, C. Marty. We're getting ourselves through the show here, halfway through the show. We're into the main topic. Our main topic is what do you do when you got to break up with your accountability partner? I'm going to pull my script up here. But before we get into that, I want to have a sip of coffee and look at my friend Marty across the room here and just kind of dive into what we're creating for you guys. I see a bunch of you here in the room watching the show right now. So we have an ambition here in the lab. This ambition is to create the ultimate morning show for you guys, not rooted in negativity and garbage, but rooted in positivity and goal achievement. Keith and C. Marty get up every single day and you're looking for those ultimate accountability partners. You're looking at them. I can guarantee you, I can assure you, you start your day at 8 o'clock Eastern time, you're going to find two guys on the planet always there with you. So if you're looking to move forward, maybe it's weight loss, Marty. Maybe it's some strength. Maybe it's to get faster. Maybe you're a college student looking to work your way into the next part of your life. You're thinking to yourself, man, I want to become a business athlete. I want to take what I've learned in school, and I want to take what I aspire to be in business, and I want to weave it together, but I want to find a team to do that with. I want to find that structure. as I'm stepping out of school into the real world? Well, I can tell you right now, Nation, Keith and C. Marty are inviting you into our world. This morning show has been created for you to help you get your day started. Marty, what do you think about our ambitions with this accountability show on the morning show?
I think this is a great idea. I think the world needs it. We like to. I'm trying not to go too far here, but we like to blame other people for our shortcomings and why we fail. And let's look at it, man. As far as fitness, because I'm a fitness guy, the world's getting unhealthier, man. It's getting bad. It's getting really bad. So accountability goes hand in hand with fitness. So I think we're doing something great, and I'm excited for the future.
So lean into the show, Nation. Set your alarm clock, set your notifications, subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the bell there on the YouTube channel so it pops up and notifies you. 8 o'clock Eastern time, Monday to Friday, we go live here. We go absolutely live here at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and we're going to package stuff up that released on the weekends for you because we know we can't take weekends off. We don't take weekends off. And, and it's not always about working out. It's about taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, wellness, fitness, all these topics to help you be accountable to your own human being. So if you're looking for great content, great conversation, we invite you to our show Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern time in North America. And I can assure you, Nation, we are working on taking the show around the planet so that you can wake up with us in the Middle East. You can wake up with us in London. Because, Marty, I know they all want to wake up with us in the Middle East.
Yeah, why not?
And I know they want, and I know Robert Coe and our friends in London want to wake up with us in London too.
Absolutely.
Where, Marty?
London.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, all right. So we keep the ambition here is to grow this morning show into a place where you can be confident to wake up with a team that is going to help you achieve those big, hairy, audacious goals. And Enzo, dude, if you're lucky, Keith and C. Marty will wake up with you one day, so you don't have to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning with us. As he's throwing some comments on the screen here with, I had an interesting time today at the airport. He ended up changing our flight early. There's a hurricane in New Zealand right now. So we got there's a hurricane in the future.
That's why we got one here.
We woke up with one, and then he says look at that, and look at this, so Enzo's flying with prisoners. Dude, Enzo's got stories, man. We got to get Enzo on the show sometime to tell us some more stories here coming from the future. All right, so let's get into our key topic of the day here. I'm going to change my camera angle to the one that's not frozen, and it is going to be we're going to go to solo main camera, and I'm going to go there, and we are going to get into a conversation about, so Nation, breaking up with an accountability partner when it's time to say goodbye. We're not talking about our wife or our husband or our partner. We've all been there. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but if you're tuning into the show and you're looking for that accountability partner, you know how it works. You start off with that accountability partner, but somewhere along the way, Marty, things just aren't clicking anymore. It's time to have that tough conversation and say goodbye. So for the next number of moments, we're going to dive into what that conversation is like. How do you break up with your accountability partner? How do you know it's time to say goodbye? How do you know it's time to dig in even further? So Marty, what do you think some of the signs are that it's time to move on from your accountability partner? And Nation, when we're talking about this, we're talking both sides. Whether it's you as the person who's looking for the coach, breaking up with Marty, or it's Marty breaking up with you. But Marty, what do you think some of the signs are when it's time to reflect upon maybe it's time for change?
Probably when the goals change. I want to be here. Your accountability partner, they probably got you to level 2, but you're trying to get to level 1, and they might be comfortable at level 2. So you might have to leave them where they are. And then a lot of times when the process changes. So when you're trying to get from level 2 to level 1, you might have to put in some more hours. You might have to put in some more effort, right? You might have to change what you eat. You might have to change a lot of things. And if that accountability partner isn't willing to go through that process with you, it might be time to move on.
Interesting. What you're suggesting, Marty, is that there might be a shelf life on either the coach or the human being who's looking for the partner. Is that what you're saying in many ways?
Absolutely. And it's okay to make that leap. It's very uncomfortable, I can tell you that. But you got to realize you're going to stay in the same spot if you keep doing the same things.
And that's the soundbite, isn't it? Because you are going to stay in the same spot if you keep doing the same things.
Yeah.
Another thing, Marty, that one might want to look at when it's time for assessment and recognizing the signs is a lack of progress. Maybe there's a point now where you're not hitting your goals, right? Or the partnership feels more like a chore. There's nothing motivating going on. It's like, oh man, I got to go work out with Marty again today, or Marty's feeling like, oh man, here's Bilous here, and I'm tired of making sure he's not eating his peanut butter jar. Right. It's and I if it gets to that, because so you're stuck at progress, you have misaligned goals. And then Marty, the third thing that comes out of that is there's probably going to be some negative impact on motivation.
Yeah.
Dreading that feeling of checking in. Like, so have you had clients? I bet you have had clients that have been neglectful of either texting you, checking in with you, or being afraid to check in with you because they're not feeling motivated.
Absolutely. I've even had clients just switch trainers because I hate to say this, but I'm a little I'm very consistent when it comes to checking in and holding you accountable, and it's uncomfortable to talk to me. I do that on purpose. I make it uncomfortable. I've had people just switch trainers, and they swear up and down they did everything I asked them to do, and they know they didn't. But that's the narrative they're going to run with, and they know they didn't do everything I asked them to do. And they might go to a nicer trainer or someone who says things differently, and that's fine. I'm not condescending or going to disrespect you, but if you're paying me your hard-earned money, I want to get you the desired result.
I appreciate that about you, and I appreciate that's where we have very much aligned on this show. Because, while we want to lead with grace, we want to lead with kindness, if you're either paying us to be your accountability partner, or if you are knowing we're going to show up every single day at 8 o'clock Eastern time, there now becomes an expectation. And it's not, oh, Keith and Marty are showing up at 8:07. No, we told you 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's no different than you saying, well, no, Keith, you need to drink a gallon of water every single day. Well, I kind of, no, Keith, I told you this is what you got to do. Well...
And that's a great example too, because it's like, all right, you're asking to drink a gallon of water. Well, I'm gonna use the bathroom a lot. Well, sometimes there's gonna be some uncomfortable things that come with the process that's necessary, and you just got to go through it. It is what it is.
That may be one of the most difficult parts of an accountability / client relationship is teaching somebody or encouraging new habits that they're not going to willingly accept, and then walking them through the difficulty of that whole moment, and walking them through the discomfort of checking in along the way going, I missed my water today, Marty, but I'm working on it to get better tomorrow. It's all about attitude, isn't it, Marty, at the end of the day?
Yeah, and you got to realize too, whenever whoever's trying to drink a gallon of water a day, they're going to miss their water too. So it's all right. Like, you're not alone. It's okay. Me and OGG were talking about being an insurance broker this morning. And I'm sure, without even talking about it or going that deep into it, OGG understands that you got to be told no in the sales process sometimes. It's just part of it, It's uncomfortable. It sucks, but it's part of it. I'm sure you can. Yeah, he's nodding his head. So, but it's what you have to go through. And it doesn't matter if it's fitness, work, whatever. Your accountability partner is they can tell you that it's just going to be part of the process.
Continue our conversation right now about breaking up with your accountability partner. And we're talking about now communicating effectively. So if you are in the process of breaking up with your accountability partner, again, either as the student or as the coach, be honest, but kind. Right? There's a way to tactfully communicate. And Marty, I know I've talked with you, and I've also laughed with you that, and I can even look at OGG over here, 35-year-old Keith or 30-year-old Keith communicates very differently than 50 or 52-year-old Keith. And he's had to learn how to tactically be kind with words and learning that along the way. And then Marty setting boundaries and then providing constructive feedback. I know those are all obvious things to state on the table. And McQuinlan, I believe you're probably still listening right now, and you have accountability. You have customers you work with along the way. But Marty, talk about that. Talk about being honest and kind, because I know you are also You're kind, you have a huge heart, but you're also not afraid to say no. Talk about boundaries, and then talk about providing that constructive feedback to me as your student.
Yeah, you have to have boundaries. If you don't have any boundaries, people will take advantage of that. So, if I'm on my fitness journey, hey guys, I'm not partying, or hey guys, I'll go to the party, but I'm not taking shots tonight, right? Your friends or accountability partners, they have to understand that, hey, when he or she says they're not doing something, they're not doing it, and I'm not going to tempt them, right? You got also, when you set boundaries, you got to surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries. You can't surround yourself with people who are always going to try to overstep them or try to get you to break your boundaries, right? And what was the second part?
Second part was just a negative impact. No, second part was provide constructive feedback.
Oh yeah, and definitely constructive feedback, and that's part of growth, having uncomfortable conversations, right? You don't need to disrespect anyone or be condescending, but if you really care about this person and you want them to level up, you got to be honest, and you got to understand that maybe you can sugarcoat it a little bit, just a little bit, but sugarcoating isn't always necessary. For that person to change, sometimes you got to let them know straight up, hey, you're not doing a good job, or if me and Keith are talking to each other, hey, this sucks. We can talk to each other like that. So definitely got to have effective communication, and sometimes this effective communication isn't always saying it the nicest way or sugarcoating it.
Well, and I think, Marty, if you're very clear with your client or the person you're working with on their goals, and if you both are aligned on their goals, I really believe there's an effective way to communicate with that person to keep them aligned with that goals. Like there's with a way of respect, because it's like, well, but OGG, you told me you wanted to lose some weight, so I'm telling you to lose some weight, you need to drink some water. And if you can keep it all back to what their goals are in a respective, communicative way, with respect, and always align back with that human's goals. In this case, OGG's goals. I don't know how you can have any disrespect. So for me, the key takeaway is having effective communication. I know you love transparency. So do I. Being genuine, being authentic. Communicate. Use words. Don't
Absolutely.
ghost. Right? We talked about ghosting yesterday, right? It's just this whole idea of ghosting. And, I think the worst thing you can do, Marty, with an accountability partner is ghosting somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, ghosting, and that's, now you're leaving the person to think of anything,
Yes.
Any possible scenario. Was I wrong? Was I right? So, ghosting is definitely not a great option. And we're all adults here.
Yes.
Right? You want to get paid like an adult. You want to be treated like an adult. Well, communicate like an adult.
Yeah, exactly. So moving forward, as we're talking about, breaking up with your accountability partner. So some of the main ideas you're going to want to consider: reflect on those lessons learned. Maybe you're going to seek some new accountability methods, exploring different accountability structures. Maybe you're looking for groups or mentors and looking at something different. Maybe you're going to consider digital tools, Marty. I know one of the topics we want to get into in a number of weeks is, what's this idea of using an AI bot as your accountability partner? Are people going to strive for AI bots compared to human accompanying, human friendships? But maybe for some, those digital tools are going to be more effective for them. But whatever's going to work, we would encourage that. And then reinvigorating your goals, right? So, ending one partnership opens doors to new and potentially more effective ways to stay accountable. So if you're struggling with one way, Marty, don't think that it's not going to work any other way.
Yeah.
Right? So, and as Tech Dad jumps in, hey, what's shaking, Will? We called Joe earlier, man. We were hoping you're here.
Will?
We need sound effects for Will. We got to find we need to find regular sound effects for all of our listeners. Let's just think. I got a few on the board here. Maybe could this one be Will?
Nah, I don't know what that.
No, we love Will too much. How about this?
Give Will a better one.
Oh, there's the rim shot for Will. Nah, so listen, Will. Because I love you, man, I'm going to give you this one, Will, today.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for Will.
Good. Hey, Will made an awesome post. So Will ends up at the tractor dealership to get his tractor fixed or something. He's cutting grass, I think. I don't know, but I saw some crazy posts. I believe he ended up at the store to go and have a transaction. And then I think while at the store, what perceived to may have happened was maybe he ended up working there. I don't know, but Will Cracksmith, hey, Nation, if you're looking for an incredible tech developer or tech lead or somebody to join your organization from a tech perspective, come knock on my door, Marty's door. We'll introduce you to Will Ray. Will is a solid human being who's on the show a couple weeks back, and I know he's always looking to help some awesome human beings. Oh, he was late, Marty.
Yeah, he didn't set his alarm clock.
Will, man, come on. You're missing the whole point of the accountability show, dude. Marty, what time does the show start?
8 o'clock Eastern. Well, is he on Eastern or is he on our time?
Does it?
I mean, it doesn't matter, but I'm just curious. Cincinnati, I think that's Eastern. Yeah.
All right. So have we known Will long enough that we can start teasing Cincinnati? Or yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. So who lives in Cincinnati?
I don't know. Maybe he was across the bridge in Kentucky.
Actually, Nation, I'm trying to build a national show here. So sorry, I'm already dissing Cincinnati. I've been to Cincinnati before. Oh yeah, I was there for Procter & Gamble. Oh, and also Sean Mason. What's shaking Sean Nation in Cincinnati? And so Will had a meeting this morning. Okay, all right, we're going to give you the excuse, Will Ray. So Nation, you know that if you get welcomed into the lab and you get to be on the show, then we're going to call you out. We're going to have some fun with you. We are building the world's biggest conversation, the world's biggest community about accountability. If you are looking for a partner to help you start your day, and Marty, we're free. Dude, we're free, man. Can you believe that we're free? Don't even get me into the conversation about this right now.
Uh-oh.
What's the cost for a cup of coffee? What did it cost for coffee this morning? Oh, GG?
Well, how much is the coffee? $2.50.
Well, there you go. So $2.50 Canadian. So that's like $1 American. So look at that, Marty.
Oh man,
I'm telling you. So, and we don't even charge anybody to listen to us, Nation. So, if you're looking for the ultimate free accountability partner that's going to help you get your day started with some laughter, some positivity, some humor, and some throwing you under the bus, like our friends Will Ray and Will talks about. He went to. So listen, if you're looking for the ultimate tech guy, this is what Will offers you, man. He'll come to your business to sell you a website, and he'll end up washing dishes for you. He went to this guy's place to sell him a website, ended up cutting their grass.
Oh, wow. That's what happened?
That's it.
That's crazy.
I'm going to invite Will to be on the show here, and I'm going to cut my grass. Hey, Will, what are you doing next weekend?
That'll be fun.
It's funny because as I was cutting the grass getting prepared for your arrival this weekend, that I was sitting here thinking, maybe I should leave this part of the house for Marty to cut. And then I was going to create some content with you cutting grass for this week.
I probably would have cut it.
I know. I know you would have cut the grass. So we're wrapping up our conversation right now about accountability. How do you break up with your accountability partner when it's time to say goodbye? And we're wrapping it up with moving forward. And there's one last thing though, is I want to throw out the contrarian side of you. So maybe it's you. Maybe you as the human who's hired Marty, and you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm doing everything perfect. Maybe you need to self-reflect. Maybe you need to adjust your approach. Maybe you need to find the balance. Maybe it's actually not the coach's fault, Marty.
Absolutely. And that's just part of growth, being able to look in the mirror and the ability to self-reflect. You got to have it growing up. Not growing up, but I guess maturing. You can't always blame something on someone else. We're not perfect, and it's okay. Like you're not right 100% of the time.
Well, so then Marty, let's flip that around for you as the accountability coach or you as the training coach. I would also offer there might be times in your relationship with your students where you need to look in the mirror, using you as a metaphor, that maybe you're going to yourself, this client just isn't for me anymore. And that's courage, because that's also saying, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, put your credit card away. I don't want your money anymore. And that takes courage as well.
Yeah, well, I always try to meet my clients in the middle and give them what works best for them, quote unquote. And I've had plenty of conversations where it's like, yo, this isn't going to work. You're not going to get results this way. So you're going to have to adapt to this, or you're going to end up quitting at some point. Oh, I'm not going to quit. No, I'm not. What do you think happens?
Yes.
They always end up quitting, or we always end up separating.
What are the signs that you see, Marty, when you're starting to see somebody quit? Because you've worked with enough clients and humans that are looking for you, that accountability assistance, that fitness assistance. What are some of the early signs that you're going, uh-oh, I'm starting to see them on a path? Are they coming later to you? Like, tell me some of those signs.
Yeah, I always know. I always can tell maybe 2 or 3 months in advance when they start missing sessions, when they're not even putting the effort in. This is one client now. She doesn't watch the show, so I don't care. But oh well. But I have one client now, and she's missed 2 weeks in a row. She's gonna miss this week because I'm not there. And she said, "Well, I had a rough week, but you outside with your girlfriends taking shots and dancing last weekend, and then I checked my story yesterday, and you're doing it this weekend. So you missed 2 weekends of training, but you're 2 weeks of training, and now you're out on the weekend dancing and partying. So the week wasn't that rough because we've all been through stuff. I'm sure we weren't out dancing and partying that same weekend, so the week couldn't have been that rough. So I'm like, maybe she might not stick around for a while. She might end up quitting, and we'll see. I'll let you know in 2 or 3 months." That's just one example.
If you're looking for an accountability partner, you are in the right show. You're working with the right humans.
They said they're going to call us mean.
No, we're going to call it real. Because let me ask you this question. Was this client still paying you?
Yeah.
This was bizarre.
Automatic payment every 30 days.
So listen, nation, we are Business Athlete Performance Lab. If you want the ultimate business model, go open up a gym, charge people $30, $40, $50, $100 a month, and then have nobody show up. Awesome. And then keep collecting their credit card payments.
Yeah, it's like a science. Look at Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure we talked about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Planet Fitness, they serve pizza and donuts. So the customers that they're getting are not serious about fitness.
Are you serious?
Oh, you didn't know that?
They serve pizza and donuts
like every Friday, like Wednesday and Friday. Yeah. You really didn't know that?
100% did not know that.
Yeah, they serve pizza and donuts, so they're not getting serious customers. It's $10 a month, so people aren't making a large investment. And then you have to go through like 3 layers of cancellation processes to cancel your membership. And then if you block their payment from your bank, they have like another service, another financial institution that charges you. So they're getting that $10. So they're getting their money. So yeah, if you want to make money in fitness, just find customers that aren't serious. Sell a quick fix or something like that. I'm being so serious.
Just yeah. OGG is getting a membership at Planet Fitness now.
Come on, OG. Come on, man.
That's awesome.
OGG. Come on, man.
That's the best. I did not know that. No, but I guess what they're selling is a lifestyle, Marty. And they're selling a lifestyle of movement.
No, they're not selling a lifestyle. They're literally not. They're selling a dream.
Oh,
so then they get like this is crazy. This type of stuff I talk about on my show. They get Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her.
100%.
They get Megan Thee Stallion to represent the brand. So now they're like, oh, Megan got her body there because she's in shape. She has a nice body.
Absolutely.
She's doing performances. She has to look good. So they get her to promote the brand, and now they get more customers. So they're smart.
That's right.
Not ethical, but they're smart.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, so I bring it back to the main point is that there are a number of people that will continue paying the bill because they're coming back tomorrow. They're coming back next week. Marty, I'll see you next week. Here's my credit card. Here's my I'll keep. And I guess, yeah. So then, but they're coming back next week.
Are they? We'll see.
So wrapping up a conversation with how do you break up with your accountability partner? Well, you take some courage. You look in the mirror. and you ask yourself whether it's time to move on. And whether you're the coach or whether you're the student, the onus really comes down to either one of you. And ultimately, though, it's about communicating. Communicate, be respectful, don't ghost either side. It is a business relationship, and find that balance to help you move yourself from the start of that accountability relationship to the end of it. So there's our main topic, not our main, but here's one of our topics on today's show. And because Steve, Marty, and myself are in the lab today, we're having a longer dialogue today on the show here, guys. So we're extended into a second, not even a second hour. We're just going to keep the conversation going here. So, Marty, we have not dug into a creator spotlight for the last couple of weeks, but I do want to bring up somebody here today.
Better be good.
So I have been, and Jimmy has no idea that I'm doing this right now, but Jimmy, so there is somebody over on LinkedIn that I have been laughing at a lot lately because
Jimmy knows how to adjust, so it's okay.
Jimmy's going to be adjusting on the fly here, but I have been part of this 365 Uncut Challenge over on LinkedIn, and I'm going to introduce the threads here. There's social platforms coming up, but it's just this idea of shooting a raw video every day to get to know your community and build community and conversation. And there is a dude on the platform that every single day drops the most ridiculous, I'm telling you, man, the most ridiculous humor and jokes on LinkedIn. And I want to invite Nation right now to check out this guy, and Jimmy, I'm going to throw him up on the vertical screen here if you want to take the horizontal. But I'm going to invite you guys to check out Seth Kuhn. And I think I'm saying his name correctly here. But Seth is a front-end web developer from Sonora, California. He does a joke every single day on the LinkedIn platform, and some are humorous and some are horrible. But I mean horribly awesome. If you are into witted, dry humor and just funny stuff that'll make you pause, that'll make you just take your day and move it to the next level, I invite you to follow Seth Kuhn over on LinkedIn. I want to celebrate him in our creator spotlight today. He's a front-end web developer, like I said, but every single day, later in the afternoon, he drops a funny joke. So if you're looking to be accountable to yourself, and just keep yourself moving with your day, and you find yourself in the middle of the afternoon kind of stuck and being redundant, tune into Seth. Seth will bring some humor into your life, and I guarantee you he's going to bring some laughter as well. So Seth Kuhn, my friend, boom, boom. You make me laugh every day, and I thank you for that because, life is busy and crazy enough and stressful enough. So to have somebody show up on my feed that brings some humor to my life, Marty, is a pretty fun thing. So it's I would invite you to check out Seth as well.
Yeah, I think we're connected on there.
Yeah. Some of this stuff, man, it's just, I'm like, dude, where are you coming from, man? He told a joke on the weekend that I will tell you, Marty, I will tell you that how can I just word this in a positive way? It was nobody's canceling Seth. He's
okay.
like, all right, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm like, yes.
That's how I am too. Except they try to cancel me.
Yeah, so so Seth, dude, you keep the jokes coming, man. Whether they're blonde jokes, brunette jokes, or other kind of jokes.
Keep it up, Seth.
Seth is.
We need more Seths.
I can't argue with that, man. I can't argue with that. And yes, Will, Seth, I agree, man. Seth Kuhn. I appreciate your humor, and I appreciate you always bringing it here to the lab. So, Nation, I'm going to create a clip right now that I'm going to pump out of here, and I'm going to make this clip for Threads. So, Threads Nation, Marty, Threads, we are inviting you to nominate your favorite creator on the platform. I know the Threads platform's new. There's only 250 million of us on the platform, and some of us are moving from Instagram, some of us starting here new. But I'm looking for creators on this platform that want to be celebrated. If you see somebody on this platform that's creating great content, that's a kind human being doing great stuff, we want to call them out. We want to celebrate them. We want to grow our presence on Threads. So as we said before, if you're looking for an accountability partner and you're tuning into the Threads platform, tune into us, 8 o'clock Eastern time, Keith and C. Marty Fit, for some awesome conversation, accountable conversation, and fun conversation. As Marty, we pivot to what you're all about, my friend, in the business-athlete relationship here. 15 muscle-building mistakes that people are making, and I'm sure you're seeing frequently.
Probably.
Let's get into it. So, Nation, are you sabotaging your muscle gains without even knowing it? Are you lacking accountability to those muscle gains? So today we're going to uncover the top 15 muscle building mistakes that might be holding you back from achieving your fitness goals. So Will Ray, listen up, my friend. You're going to go out there and push that lawnmower, my friend? We need to pay attention to what we're getting into right now around these mistakes that we are or aren't making. So Marty, number one, common training mistakes. Chasing the pump.
Oh, God.
Getting a pump is a result, not a cause of muscle growth. Doing hundreds of reps isn't ideal for hypertrophy. Focus on effective training rather than just achieving a pump. So, your first common training mistake, Nation, is do not chase the pump. Number two, chasing fatigue and muscle soreness. Marty.
Yeah, I've had to explain this to clients a lot. And because, I mean, human nature, it probably feels better. You probably think you're getting more out of the workout if you do 100 reps opposed to 10 challenging reps. And like the common myth in fitness is, oh yeah, lightweight, heavy reps, right? It's like, no, that's not doing anything for you. You know, especially if you're trying to change your body composition, it's just not going to happen. So it's cut it out. It's you're going against science. And I tell people all the time, like, how do you believe science in this area of life, but you won't believe it when it comes to fitness? Do you believe in science or no? Because don't tell me you believe in science over here, and then when I'm telling you what to do and what's best for you, you all of a sudden don't believe in science.
There's certainly a lot of selective science believers on the planet.
Yes, too many of them.
Hey, and we certainly saw that in the last. So, Nation, you all can do math. We've seen a lot of selective science believers in the last 5 years.
Be careful now, Keith. Be careful.
I think selective science came out around the alternative fact era, and then selective science came out in 2019.
Well, not to get, political or anything. I'm not going to go too far down that road. But that's an example I use with clients a lot.
Oh, yes.
I actually use that example. I'm like, did you XYZ and XYZ? And they're like, yeah, of course. Well, that's science, right? Yeah. Well, this is science. So do you believe in science or not? And then they kind of shut up because you don't have a comeback for that. There's literally no rebuttal for that. So
Right. 15 mistakes you are making in the gym. Chasing fatigue and soreness. We're talking about that one. So fatigue and soreness are not indicators of muscle growth. Marty.
Yes. That's true. It's not. But it's kind of with the same thing we just touched on. You might feel like you're doing something. You might feel like you're doing more. But that's not effective. Kind of like the saying, work smarter, not harder. Mm-hmm. So you can work you can work hard, but it doesn't mean you're headed in the right direction or you got the right process.
There you go.
So.
Yes, Marty. Insufficient training efforts. Well, some would argue that you're not sufficiently training well enough. You're not pushing close enough to muscular failure. The true muscle growth is requiring you pushing you to your limits. And you talked about that for a little bit. Avoiding comfort zones in your workout routines. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, you got to work out at a certain intensity. You do have to get uncomfortable in your workouts. You got to push your body to the next level. Let's use cardio, VO2 max, right? You're not increasing your VO2 max if you're on the treadmill scrolling on threads at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you want to listen to music, if you want to watch a show, that's fine. But you got to push your body. You got to get a little uncomfortable if you want to improve. So,
ego lifting. One of the mistakes you might be making in the gym, Marty, is that you're sacrificing form for heavier weights. You're looking to increase your risk of injury. You're prioritizing, ego over proper technique. Common mistake. Common mistake, Marty.
Yeah, bro, I lifted 315 today. And then I go look at the video and I'm like, you did not lift 315, bro. Put the weight down.
Yes. Yes. So, in our first 5 chunks of your 15 mistakes you could be making in the gym, whether you're chasing the pump, you're chasing fatigue, soreness, insufficient training, driving the ego, the takeaway from all this, nation, is that you got to focus on effective training techniques rather than, Marty, superficial indicators. Oh, I got a good pump. Oh, I'm sore. Oh, I lifted really heavy, bro. Like all those, indicators are more than likely that you're probably making a lot of mistakes in the gym.
Yep.
Right. So, Enzo, I see you coming up here, my friend. You need an accountability partner for your business plan? Send it over. Happy to take a look at it. We'll connect here after the show here with some details, or just send me a note, man. Keith at BAPL. .ai. We'll get that for you. And oh yes, Jimmy, I think we start introducing a new segment for job seekers. I'd be happy. Oh yes, we'll come back to that in a few moments, Jimmy. I kind of forgot about that. We are in the middle of our segment right now of 15 muscle building mistakes you could be making along the way. We've gone through our first number 5. Number 2, part 2 to this whole conversation is Marty, training techniques and tracking. Maybe you're not tracking your workouts. We talked about this before. Now, I know you've been doing this for a long time. It's somebody new, somebody who's intermediate into this whole process. Perhaps they're aspiring to be a business athlete and not fully a business athlete yet, but maybe not tracking their workouts is stalling gains. Talk about that.
Yeah, you always want to, for instance, if you're lifting weights, write them down, keep it on your phone, but keep inventory of what you're lifting and how many reps, because you want to improve. How's your body going to change? How are you going to get into better shape if you're not striving for new goals? If you're running a mile and your mile time is 10 minutes, let's aim for 9 minutes. Let's aim for improving that mile. So you always want to get better in the gym, and that's how your body's going to change as time goes on.
What I think as we talk about being a business athlete, Marty, if you're tracking your numbers in business, why wouldn't you be tracking your numbers in the gym?
That's a great comparison.
Right, they're one and the same, right? So. Yeah. If you're neurotic with a spreadsheet at the desk, we'll be neurotic with the spreadsheet in the gym. It's the same mindset.
Same mindset for sure.
Right. So, Martin, number 7, excessive workout variation. Now, listen, there's a lot of truth to modality and changing routines. After periods of time, whether it's every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks or so forth. But excessive workout variation. Talk about folks that are constantly changing every single day they go to the gym.
Yeah, well, I've mentioned it before. The simple stuff gets the results, right? So if you're going to change your routine, that's fine, but make sure you give the initial routine some time for your body to make some changes, for your body to get stronger before you change. And when you change, make sure you're doing some more simple stuff. If you want to sprinkle in some fun, some burpees, some HIIT, some mountain climbers, that's fine. But the foundation and the majority of your workout should be the simple stuff that's been scientifically proven to work. You don't need to jump on the Bosu ball and land on one foot into a pistol squat. You don't need to do a deadlift backflip. You don't need to do that, right? So just keep it simple. And but it's okay to change. You saw something on Instagram you want to try. You heard an influencer or a creator or a trainer say something, you want to sprinkle it in. Cool. Just make sure it's reasonable, because there's a lot of BS info out there.
In many ways, Marty, going back to good traditional compound movements, compound lifts, the old school lifts, blended with modern day techniques, modern day data tracking, and so forth. That just keeps it simple, doesn't it, Marty?
Yeah, they I don't know if you saw my clip where
I did.
Milwaukee Bucks point guard Damian Lillard was doing the ball like this.
Yes.
And I'm like, come on, man. Like, there's no way that this is necessary for an NBA superstar. There's no way. And then, I've compared it to Jason Tatum, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and they're doing all the simple stuff. These are guys who won championships. No shade to Dame. He hasn't won a championship. So I'm going to go with the championship guys and what they've done. Sorry. Love you, Dame. Just saying. And, of course, people were like, you can't say that. Yes, I can.
Maybe you're choosing the wrong lifts. as we're talking about the 15 mistakes you could be making in the gym or their fitness facility why you're not having success is maybe you're choosing the wrong lifts. Maybe you're focusing too much, Marty, on isolated movements and small movements and bicep curls and tricep presses instead of your
I want bigger arms, bro.
Hey, we should do an episode on what if, no hook there. What if you only trained arms for 365 days, Marty? Could you imagine, actually? Has somebody ever done that before?
Yeah, I'm sure. That's why they. Never mind. Let's keep it nice today.
But we got to find the video. See the dude's arms.
Join my podcast if you want to hear more.
I would love to see the dude's arms that just trained for 365 days on his arms, his biceps and triceps, and nothing else, man.
I've seen people with super defined arms and not literally nothing else.
I've seen a lot of dudes with big upper bodies and no legs.
You see that a lot too.
Yeah, those chickens.
Yeah, or ladies, strong lower body, no upper body strength. I see that too.
Oh yeah, the reverse.
Because a lot of ladies are scared to lift upper body.
Right.
So.
Yes. Oh yeah, because we're going to be big and bulky. We know that. We know what. Listen, ladies, nobody's getting big and bulky. We are. That ain't happening. Nope, that ain't happening. Arm wrestlers, yeah. So they would just have big arms, but I think arm wrestlers are typically power lifters and big, like.
Yeah, those are bigger guys.
Just the big arms, right? So
yeah.
Other mistakes you might be making to limit progress in the gym is unstable exercises, where you might be getting onto the Bosu ball and trying to do a squat, Marty. No,
it's unnecessary.
It's absolutely unnecessary.
Now, if you're an athlete and you want to work on some balance, you're recovering from an injury, maybe some physical therapy type of things. That makes sense. But if you're a beginner, there's no need to be on the Bosu ball, and you don't even know what muscles you're targeting in a squat. There's no need for it.
Moving to our next piece of advice here on the 15 pieces, we're on the last 5 here. Unequal body part focus. So, and we joked about this a few moments ago, but only focusing on the upper body, not the lower body. Only doing lower body and not doing upper body, right? So you need to balance your workout routine for overall strength and symmetry, right? Don't just focus on the left side or the right side or your legs or arms.
Yeah. So I say try to hit each muscle group twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to the gym, 3 or 4 times a week, that's very doable. And, if you're a junkie, you're in the gym 5 days a week. Ladies, you can do legs 3 times a week. Fellas, hit upper body 3 times a week if you're, really trying to get some real results.
So I'm glad you dropped that, actually, because that's a good piece of advice here with the 15 mistakes you might be making in the gym. Could one of them, so some bonus advice, Marty, could one of them be not training enough?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You can always crank up your cardio or lift heavier or just, hit a body part more than you probably haven't been doing. So it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Number 11, 15 mistakes you might be making in the gym, Nation. High rep focus. High reps can be less effective for hypertrophy. Exactly. High reps or heavy weight, Marty, or a bit of both.
You got to do a bit of both. If you want to do, I say start with the heavy, because that's going to help you target the muscle, and it's going to help you focus on form. If you lift in challenging weight, you have no choice but to perfect your form. Now, when you do the light reps, if you want to add some, you can get a cardio benefit from it and just some muscle endurance. That's perfectly fine. But make sure when you're doing the high reps, keep your form right. Mm-hmm. Keep your form right. And it's okay to take a break in the middle of your set. If you do half of the set, take a break and then go back just to ensure that your form is great. That's perfectly fine. But when you start getting to the sloppy reps, you're not targeting the muscle and you're asking for an injury.
So shorter rest times can reduce lifting performance, Marty.
Shorter rest times can reduce lifting performance. Yeah. Take the time that you need. Don't be excessive with it. Don't start scrolling on your phone. Start sending out tweets and responding to DMs. But yeah, rest time is important.
13 through 15, Marty, and the 15 mistakes you might be making in the gym. Now, some might suggest that a mistake is doing cardio before lifting. Full cardio sessions before lifting can hinder muscle growth because you are already more than likely tired. Cardio before or after lifting, or personal preference, Marty?
I'm going to be honest. I'm a personal preference guy. As now, don't do excessive cardio to where you're weak when the lift starts. But for myself, physically and mentally, I like to already break a sweat before lifting. The science says do your cardio after, but that's my personal preference. And then as a D1 athlete, we always did lifts after practice or after skill work, and people were gaining weight and getting stronger. So I'm kind of not on that train of doing cardio after. I do cardio after sometimes, but I like to warm my body up and do cardio before. And then especially on leg day, I got tight hips, tight lower back. So I like to get my body loose before.
I'm with you. I'm a mindset person. I go back and forth. I like to go into a lift with a warm body, but there's also logic that if I'm already tired from doing a heavy session on some cardio, I'm like, well, then I'm not going to have a good lift unless I fuel myself and rest myself. So then it extends my lift kind of thing. So
yeah,
I'm very much, because there's no logic in going into a heavy lift after just spending an hour for a run or an hour on a bike or whatever it is, right? So
yeah.
It depends on what my priority is in that moment, but I'm with you on the personal preference side of things, whether it's cardio before or lifting before or after. I think, it's what makes you feel best to achieve those goals.
Yeah, and one more nugget. Obviously, you want to lift heavy, but you can sacrifice some of the weight. Maybe lift a little bit lighter if you do your cardio before. The goal is to train the muscle competently and not to exhaust the muscle.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's big too.
Yes.
A lot of people I can't walk after leg day, and that's great.
Good.
But you still want to have some energy, and you don't want to be super sore to where you can't train the next day or do anything with your legs the next day.
Right.
That's how people quit, and then they go dancing on the weekends and skipping their training session during the week.
That is how people, but that is how people quit, though, isn't it? They work so hard, they get sore, and they're like, oh, I can't do this again.
Exactly. So
yes. Enzo, yes, would love to offer you some advice at the end of the show, my friend. If you're still sticking around there, would love to pop over any advice we absolutely can for you. So 50 mistakes you could be making in the gym, Business Athlete Nation, is excessively strict form. Micromanaging every rep, Marty, can hinder natural movement. So being over neurotic with your lift instead of being proper with your lift.
Yeah, you don't have to be a robot. And yes, time under tension. You don't want to go too fast, obviously, but I have clients and they're trying to get too technical, and I'm like, man, just do the movement. Just get let's go. You don't need to be too technical. So, yeah.
And I think this last one, Marty, is in our list of 15 mistakes that one could be making in the gym or taking care of their personal wellness. And this is one where I know you spend a lot of time on the See Marty Fit podcast, one of the best fitness podcasts on YouTube in the evening, is people spending a lot of time copying enhanced lifters, fitness influencers who are showing things on their Insta pages, on their social pages, on how to do incredibly fun, crazy lifts that might not be suitable for everyone. So when somebody comes to you and says, Marty, I want to do the trapeze lift jumping off the top of the bars, and ended up with a trap deadlift bicep curl on a Bosu ball.
I have this conversation with so many clients, and I'm like, well, they're like, well, I saw this person do this. I'm like, yeah, she was a Division I top level volleyball player. You've been sedentary since forever, so you can't do what she does. Or this guy was an NFL player. You can't do what he does. You gotta. I don't even do that. So let's keep it simple. Let's start like a beginner, and a lot of people get discouraged because they can't do some of these things that the influencers are doing.
Yeah.
And so, I talk about this a lot on my podcast. And like I said, there's a lot of BS in the industry. I'm not going to get into it now. Check out my podcast if you want to hear more. But yeah, just stay at your level, and maybe you can get there one day if you stay consistent with it. And then we can start to increase and give fun and sprinkle some things in. But again, we want to hit your fitness goals, number one, and number two, we don't want to get hurt.
We're talking 15 muscle building mistakes you could be making in the gym. And Marty wasn't going to touch one topic, but I'm going to add it up here in a quick second. Lotus Flower comes in and says, I learned from my first trainer. She taught me to warm up the body prior to lift, and that has become a habit for me. I'm with you, Lotus. I really am. I like warming up too, whether it's a light lift or I just like getting my legs moving, get my heart rate up a little bit and get my, like Marty, I got on the bike this morning before you guys got here. I got on the bike, my heart rate was 53. It's like I was half dead.
You were like sleepy. Never mind.
I was sleepy, OG man. I was getting on there. I'm like,
that's not what I was going to say.
No, that's
not what I was going to say.
But listen, so the 15 muscle building mistakes, there might be one bonus one, Marty, and I know you talk about this one a little bit, and I'm gonna throw this balloon up in the air for us to maybe poke up. So one of the muscle building mistakes you might be making in the gym nation is you might be trying to be too sexy. The sexualization of the gym. You might be walking around the gym trying to just pick up, and make these sexualized movements all over the gym, all in the social media Insta world that we live in now. And I know Marty has no opinion at all about this, but but for the bonus muscle building you could be making mistake in the gym, Marty, Christopher Martin, see Marty Fit. Let's discuss for a moment your opinion on the over-sexualization of what's happening in gyms across North America. Christopher Martin, see Marty Fit.
It's ruining the culture. We're not even here to work out anymore. It's like a club, and it discourages people from coming to the gym. Especially beginners, and it turns people off from the gym altogether. People are going to home gyms, private gyms, which isn't a problem, but public gyms can be a great place. I've met some of my best friends there. For instance, my co-host Toon that you've seen, a couple of my other good friends, I've met them at the gym. It can be a great community. It can be an outlet for people. It can be great for mental health. And that over-sexualization, it takes away from the positives of the gym community. And it's become a big clown show. And what's crazy is, Keith, not to get too explicit or anything, I'm not going to say too much, but I don't know if you saw my post with the guy stretching the girl up against the wall.
I saw it on the wall, and I just could not.
Yo, you go through the comments, and the amount of people defending it, it's insane. It's like, now I'm the outcast for trying to make the gym a safe place, especially for women.
Yes.
You don't want?
Well, I think about my daughter. I saw that video posted, and I thought about you met Piper yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't imagine Piper going to the gym and having her trainer do that to her.
And they were like, well, he's a stretch coach, and he helps dancers. I know plenty of dancers, and I know I'm going to have a daughter one day, and she might want to do dance. If I see that, I'm not sending her to him.
No.
And so it's just it's getting normalized.
Yes.
And people like me and others, we got to step it up and stop this. Because it's going somewhere. Who knows what's going to be in the gym in the future?
Concerts?
At this rate.
Concerts?
Yeah. People were defending that.
We've seen concerts in the gym.
Just go to my comment section if you don't believe me. Stuff is getting normalized. It's crazy. 16 muscle building mistakes you could be making in the gym. And Jimmy, we're going to come up here, and Marty, we're coming up next with our See Marty Fit tip as we wrap up the show here in a moment. Well, I'm going to quickly go through these, quickly highlight for you guys. But the 15 muscle building mistakes you could be making at the gym these days is, number one, chasing the pump. Listen, it's not always about the pump. You could be chasing fatigue and soreness, insufficient training effort. Maybe you're going in for an ego lift, and along the way, you're making mistakes 1 through 5. Hey, one of the mistakes you could be making is not tracking those workouts. Perhaps you're also just kind of doing too many things along the way with some excessive workout variation. So those are things you could be making mistakes along the way as well.
choosing the wrong lifts, unstable exercises, focusing too much on isometric exercises, maybe not enough on compound lifts, and really, frankly, not knowing what to do. Focusing too much on the legs, upper body, unequal body part focus. Those may be some mistakes you could be making in the gym. High rep focus, short rest times are also things that you could be making which are inhibiting your growth. Whether you're doing cardio before or after is something you need to figure out for yourself, but not being open to it and opening to change is something that might be a mistake you're making as well. Excessive strict form, being neurotic. Just get the lift in. Just get the lift in and get it done, and get it done to your best of abilities is going to be better than not doing it all. And last but not least, except for the bonus, is copying those enhanced lifters. You know, you're seeing a lot of people on social media doing certain things. You might not have the ability to do them, so don't focus on trying to do them. And the bonus one, go to the gym for a lift. Go to the gym for friendship, your lift, for a good cardio workout, for a sweat. If you're looking for a sexual relationship, go do it somewhere else. Hey, Marty Fit?
Absolutely, man. I agree.
Those
are some great tips.
That's where we leave it there. The 15 tips that are probably inhibiting your muscle growth if you're spending time in the gym. And it's this point in the show that we are going to move our direction, Christopher Martin, Mr. C. Marty Fit, to this. Oh, I'm pulling me off, and I'm putting you on. Boom.
Let's do it. The first fitness tip from Canada, from C. Marty Fit. And it's not going to be the last one. All right, let's get to it. Even the busiest people can find ways to exercise. Are you struggling to find time for long workouts? Try micro workouts to stay fit. What's that? Let's talk about it. Desk exercises. Do calf raises or seated leg lifts while working. You're not really burning any calories if you're sitting at a desk. So let's find some ways to do that. Let's find some ways to sneak some caloric burn in your workday. Commercial breaks. Use TV breaks for quick sets of push-ups or crunches. You know, those add up. You do sets of 10, sets of 20. Do that a couple times a day. You have 50, 100, 200 push-ups. And, you're building some muscle and burning some more calories. Stair sprints. Take the stairs and add a sprint every few hours. Now, if you're in the work building, maybe not sprint, but, you can pick up the pace, get up the steps, get your body moving, and don't underestimate steps. They can get you tired, even just walking up. Even the fit people get tired, including myself. Don't tell anybody I said that. Morning routine. Incorporate squats or jumping jacks when you brush your teeth. Maybe not when you brush your teeth, but if you don't want to, but you can still do it, waiting for your breakfast. Maybe just doing it before you even start your morning routine. Get some push-ups in, squats, jumping jacks, whatever it is. And, I know there was a time a couple years ago I would do 100 push-ups before I brush my teeth or do anything. And that also puts you in a great mood. Micro workouts aren't the best you can do, but it's a way to start to keep your body moving. Bottom line, there's no excuse for not taking care of yourself. Zero. And that's the fitness tip for today. There we go. There's that fit tip of the day.
I know when I met Marty and I were chatting a couple weeks ago, did you not say to me that it's not uncommon for you to get up and just drop down and do 25 push-ups or something?
Yeah, I do that all the time, especially even when I'm training my clients. I just drop down and do 20 push-ups.
So, Nation, if you happen to be wandering around Maryland anytime in the future and you're just walking through Washington, Maryland, and you see some dude just dropping down in the middle of a walk or just in the middle of a restaurant and all of a sudden just crushing out push-ups.
I don't know about a restaurant.
It's C. Marty Fit just getting himself accountable and holding himself down the line there. So
the restaurant won't be me. People be like, yeah, I saw that guy.
Hey, that's
not me.
That's good water, eh?
It's actually really good. It's 0 calories, too. I'm surprised.
It's zero. I know. I drink it all the time. It's some good President's Choice water up here in Canada. It's flavored with stevia. I live on that water. That's my favorite water here. So we're wrapping up today's show, Nation. We have been hanging out here for an extended period of time. We really, really grateful and thankful for all of you that tuned in today. Lotus Flower, I really always love seeing your name in the comments and in the section here. Seth. Will Ray, I know you've been joining today. Enzo, you've been awesome as well. Mike Quinlan, Lauren, Sarvina, you've been here as well. We got all the Business Nation topping in here. And Enzo, Marty, Enzo's been hanging out for Enzo over here. I gotta get this up here for Enzo because I gotta give the guy some respect. But Enzo, 2 months, brother. 2 months been hanging out with us. Are you serious? You've been doing Enzo's been in the family for 2 months. And I'm going to put Enzo to work this week.
Let's put him to work.
I agree. Yeah. So Enzo, I think you can help me with setting up my store. So I'm going to tell you right now in the air. So Enzo, I need some help setting. If you want to help me set up my store, man, are you good technically, Enzo? Because if you're good technically, like you just help me do my Shopify site or something. You can help.
Yeah, you can help me with mine too, Enzo.
There you go. Yeah. So we'll get some merch over to the air in New Zealand in exchange for some help there, my friend. But this is 1:30 there in the future with Enzo joining us from New Zealand. So thanks everybody for tuning in today. We have had an exceptional show. Keith and Marty hanging out live in person here in Canada, up in Headingley, Manitoba. And I want to quickly wrap up the show, and then I want to bring you guys back to the beginning here on what this continued goal and aspiration is. I see a number of you tuning in right now into the morning show, mornings with Keith, C. Marty Fit, and friends here from around the globe. Nation, the purpose we get out of bed every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, the morning accountability show. This show is here created to help you guys achieve those goals. Think of us as your morning alarm clock that you can't put on snooze, right? Because you put on snooze, Marty's going to be coming waking you up every single day within those 9 minutes of the snoozer there. So no snoozing with the morning show here in the lab. But today we went through our polls throughout the day. And I think we actually have a poll going up today that I think I may have missed. And I just want to quickly go back to that. Yes, today's poll going up is, Marty, have you ever had to end an accountability partnership? So Nation, I invite you to check it out on LinkedIn. We're going to get up on Threads either today or tomorrow as well. But have you ever had to end an accountability partnership? And how did it feel? Was it forced? Those goals didn't align? No progress? Or no, still going strong? So check out the poll over on LinkedIn. And hey, while you're on LinkedIn, I invite you to connect with myself, Keith Bilous. Just come click the follow, come click the connect. I invite you to go check on that guy over there. Go connect with C. Marty Fit, Christopher Martin. You'll find Christopher Martin in LinkedIn as well. And come find us on Instagram, Keith Bilous, C. Marty Fit. Come follow and like the show on YouTube. That would help us a lot. So if you're tuning in on YouTube right now, I invite you. What is it, Marty? Click the like button, right? What do I got to do again? I'm the old guy here.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button and share it with a friend.
There you go. Hit the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel, right?
And subscribe.
That's it. Leave some comments for us. Just juice the engine for us as we keep building this thing up here. So we're going to be back tomorrow. Marty, great show today, man.
This was a good show. Good stuff, man.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun being in person. We're going to get back together tomorrow, Nation, 8 o'clock Eastern time. The accountability partners that help you get your day going. You'll find us here on YouTube. You'll find clips throughout all the other socials. You'll find us on TikTok. You'll find us on Instagram. You'll find us on Threads. You'll find us on YouTube. You'll find us everywhere. Our purpose, our mission, to be ubiquitous. When you look around for an accountability partner, we want you to think of that guy, Christopher Martin, C. Marty Fit, and we want you to think of this guy, Keith Bilous. That is our goal. So whether you're living in North America, whether you're living in the Middle East, whether you're hanging out with Lotus Flower, or whether you're hanging out with Enzo, we want you thinking about the number one accountability show in the world and your two accountability partners that will always be there for you every single day. Keith Bilous, C. Marty Fit. Marty, let's get out of here, man. Let's get to work.
Let's do it.
All right, Nation, we're going to get out of here. Enzo, we're going to hang out with you in the horizontal room for a moment. We'll keep you in the comments there, pal. So we're going to say goodbye in the stream and to the vertical feed. Jimmy, thanks, pal. Good job producing today, buddy. Nation.
Good job, Jimmy.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. And 8 o'clock Eastern time. Oh, tomorrow's show. I just want to quickly tease that. What is tomorrow's show again? It is, I know Wednesday, we got David Sauer joining us on Wednesday. So Wednesday, David Sauer. Wednesday, David Marty owns Royal Restrooms. Dude, it is like, I'm trying to find the selective word right now. It's like the ultimate crapper. Yeah. So if you
luxury crap.
It's exactly it. Yeah, so if you're like going to like this awesome, like you're going to a festival, maybe you're going to a rally, and maybe you're hanging out with a bunch of people, you'll find these Royal Restrooms. David Sauer is going to join us on Wednesday, and we are going to talk about business. Of course, we're talking about business. I'm just looking at my schedule here coming up. We're going to talk about breaking up. So we talk accountability secrets, longevity life hacks, embracing favors. Listen, David Sauer is joining us. I don't have it in front of me right now. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go hit the gym. You guys have a great one. Accountability Partners Plus, Keith and C. Marty, mornings in the lab. We're going to get out, and I'm going to turn this thing off right now. We'll see you guys later. Ciao.